Hello everyone, my name is Moser and I will be your host for today's session. Today we'll talk about AVEVA's communication driver and we'll give some example for InTouch and system platform. Communication driver or DI, device integration server, DA server or data acquisition server, IO server, input output server, OI server, operations integration server, all these terminologies for same topic. And here we will use the term communication driver, and I will walk you through what is the communication driver, how to find that driver and how to download it and how to install it. We'll talk a brief difference between the old and the new AVEVA's communication driver. The old one it was named by DAS, Data Acquisition Server, or IO server, and the new one, the OI server, Operation Integration Server. What is the difference between them, generally speaking? And after this, we will do two different examples. One to communicate from a PLC using a Modbus driver to InTouch, and another example to system platform with a small principle troubleshooting on each server. So starting with our session, what is a communication driver? Let's first imagine that we have, imagine this scenario, we have a printer and the normal one, and we have a PC, and we want to print from our PC or read a scanned file from the printer to our PC. Now, generally, especially the new drivers of printer, every printer come with a CD, and this CD have a software that must to be installed in our PC to have to be able to communicate with this piece with this printer. Now, this CD have a software, and this software is the driver. Same concept that we have it for industrial communication driver. In our industry, we have a PLC or field through the web or equipment. And as we know, every vendor have his own protocol, his own language. And we need to communicate with this PLC or with this equipment. For that, we need same thing, the communication driver. It's a small software that translates from the language or the protocol of this PLC or equipment to our system. Now, in our system, even we are talking about system platform, so we are translating from PLC's protocol to the device integration object. Or if we are talking in InTouch, we are talking here that the translation must be done to access name. In both cases, what we are doing is translating an external protocol, like what, Modbus, Allen Bradley CIP, Siemens, Rockwell, Melsec, etc., to a well-known protocol, which we call it internal protocol. It will be even SweetLink or DDE or OPC. Now there is a specific protocol that it's common external and internal, which is the OPC. This is just specific, and it's a exception protocol that we might communicate to OPC from a device integration server directly to a PLC without going through a communication driver. It's not always the case, but we can do it. This is why we have a gateway to communicate from OPC to OPC. Now, where to find those drivers? If you are registered as a system integrator, or you have a valid customer first, you can register to software support sp.aveva.com. And if your registration is valid, we already talked about the registration in other video, how to do it and how to make sure that it's valid. But once it's valid, you can download the driver easily. Where to find it? Once you log in with your valid username, you'll find something called Communication Hub. In this tab, you can find all the drivers you need. Let's see it together. So once you click on the Communication Hub, you can go to the Knowledge and Support Center. Here you can go to Communication Connectivity Hub, and you can find all the drivers for Cytec, SIMSI, and Wonderware. Now we will focus on Wonderware, and we'll give all the examples there. Now, even you can download by product, can search, download by type, is it an add-on or documentation, etc. Or search for the manufacturer, the vendor, ABB, Allen Bradley, Rockwell, General Electric, G-Fanuc, LG. Generally, how I download or how I search, I go for the product that I need, it's Wonderware, and then I search. So for example, what do I need? I need a Modbus. So let me go for MBTCP, that's Modbus over TCP, or simply Modbus. Click on Apply. And here you'll find what you need, all the versions. So you can find the OI server, the DAS server, and the DI object. We'll talk about the difference between OI and DAS. Now, the DI object has similar functionality as the DAS server, but it's from the object and it's only used for system platform. Let's click on any of them. We always recommend to go for the recent one. So we always recommend to go for OI. Now this is the recent, the most one. And click on README file. See what is support. For OI server, all you need, one of the requirements is to install the OI core. It's mentioned here. And you can find the OI core even from the CD of system platform, or the software you install it from system platform, or from the connectivity hub itself. So once you click on README file, please do not forget to read the server guide. However, the server guide will be installed with the product in the help file. I will show you how. Next, you can click on download. And here it is starting to download. Now, you can find the first difference between OI and IO by size. So why MBTCP is only 7 megabyte when DAS is 33 megabyte? Because DAS come with the core of the server. Every DAS come with the core, and this is one of the difference that I will explain. So the first difference between IO server and OI server, that IO server or DAS is installed server by server. Every server have his own core. It works separately. So you have 3 different drivers. That means 3 different cores. However, for the new OI server, you have 1 core. And inside this core, you have the drivers. This is one of the first difference between them. As configuration, well, yes, OI core have better performance. The newest is better. However, for configuration and how to configure both of them, they are similar. Regarding the licensing, there is also a difference between OI and IO. So the old one, the legacy, the DAS, MBTCP, or any DAS, need the .lic, orchestra.lic license. However, the OI server, the new ones, come with the .xml that we send through the internet. Last but not least, regarding the licensing, we have 3 types of licensing: the standard, professional, and premier. Standard, that means I can I'm allowed only to execute only one instance. That means only one protocol. For the professional, I have the right for multi-instances. That means different protocols. And for Premier, it's at the same time professional plus a specific type of server, which is the telemetry server. In case you have a DMP3, for example, we will not cover telemetry server in this session. We will in another one. If in case you have a DNP3 or a telemetry protocol, you need a specific type of server, or a communication driver, which is a telemetry server, and that needs a Premier license. Let's open our example here, how to install it. First, once you download it, go for the OI that you already download. Just click on setup, and that's it. It will be downloaded. Very easy, very fast. If it's a DAS, it will be the same thing. However, I already installed it, so it will show something else. Okay, now because it's already installed, it asks me to modify, repair, or remove. But if it's the first time you are installing it, this is what you will see. Simply go for next, 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 and finish, and that's it. The driver is already installed. Now, where to find it? You'll find it in finish. The README file will be opened, close. Let's close this one. You have to search for System Platform Management Console, which will be under Wonderware Utilities, System Platform Management Console. Click. Under Operations Integration Server Manager, and here we are talking about 2017. If your software is prior to 2017, you can find it under Orchestra DAS. Those are the DAS that you have, and you find it under these servers. Now, regarding the OI server, the new one, you'll find Operation Integration Supervisory Servers. This is the OI core. If you open it, you'll find the drivers one by one. I already installed the web SPC, the SIM. There is a gateway where you can find the OPC and OPC UA gateways, MBTCP, Alhambra DCIP. However, for the DAS, every server is separate. This is a protocol, and this is another protocol. Now, how to I have here a small example. This is a soft PLC that's working on my PC in here, and I want to connect my driver to this PLC. So how to do it? And this is common if I'm working under InTouch or system platform. I'll do the same. This PLC, again, this is a Modbus PLC, TCP with simple JavaScript. Actually, it's a VB script, sorry, that's generating some values. And those are the addresses that I can read it from. So how to connect to a Modbus protocol? Well, you can, for every driver you install it, you can find all about its configuration from the help. So you can go for help topic, and every driver you install, you can find its help. So Modbus MBTCP, you can find here legal information, introduction, configuration, how to configure, what types of data, what is the addressing, what are the device and items, etc. So I will do the first one here. Let me close it. MBTCP, this is the driver that I need. So this is the driver. I'll go for configuration, right click. I want to add a port. This is the first thing I'll do. Let's name it port 1. You can name it whatever you want. Right click. I need bridge quantum. No, I need a PLC. So I'll name it PLC 1. Now here the what's needed depends on the driver itself. Once I reach the PLC, I need to put the network address. This is the PLC address. Now, again, the PLC is locally on my PC, so I'll use 127, the local, it's the local IP .0.0.1, or you can use the computer name. But normally this is a PLC, so you have to put the PLC IP address. The rest here all depends on the PLC. So we have to read the manual of the PLC to know how to put the configuration. So this PLC, does it use a zero-base addressing, for example, or not? Doesn't have a long concept or not, etc. What is the bit order, register order, register size? Now, for our PLC, this one that I'm using, all I have to leave as default. Next, it's come the device group. The device group is the communication group or scan group. So normally I'm using it so for how fast I want to read from the PLC. So let's add a new one, and this is a very, very, very important part, because this topic name, I'll name it topic 1, the same name here, I will use it inside my system. So I will name it as topic 1, update item 1000 milliseconds. That means 1 second. That means I'm reading, this driver is reading from this PLC every 1 second. Let's go for device items. And here I have 2 columns. This is the second very important part. Item reference, here the item reference are the Modbus address. What is my address, or the address of the registry that I'm reading from. And the name is the item name. What is the name of the item inside my system? So I know I'm using, for my first example, an InTouch tag. So the first tag, oops, okay, I will add, I have a tag that have the name InTouch _ temp. And this tag is a temperature from my system that must to read from the PLC a registry with the address 3000, let's say 10 or 12. No, now it's a bigger one. This is the first tag, second tag, etc. I can continue. If you want, you can export the tag that you have. Name it as PLC, I'll name it PLC3, for example. It's a simple CSV. Let's go and look at it. Some PLC export their own tag addresses. So you can put, this is the list that I exported from the driver, and here the item names. Let me open it. And here, the next column, you have to put the Modbus address or the PLC address. So I think it is 3 zeros because it's 6. Okay, so if you have all these addresses, you can put it here and put then the name that you want to name it as you like to name it inside your system. Once you finish, you save. I already prepared one. Let me show it for you. Don't save here. I already prepared one with 2 tags. So I name it InTouch _ temp1 and InTouch _ temp2. Those are the tags from my system, and here the addresses. We close. After you finish and prepare the list, let's go back here. I'll remove this one. Don't need it. Right click, import, and PLC1. I will import this one. Already have it. Now save. Right click, activate. Now here, when you right click, you have right click auto start after reboot. That means if you restart the PC, it will automatically start it will automatically be activated. or activate until reboot. That means if you restart, it will not be activated. It will be deactivated until you restarted manually. I prefer in demos and in training to use the manual part, but in real life scenario, normally we use the automatic the auto start. Now, if you look at the icon after I started, you see it's a green belt with a green check. Let me open another one. Activate here. As you see here, this is a different icon. If the icon looks like this one, that means your license is working fine. And it means that you already activate the right license for the right communication driver. And for my part, I'm activating the XML license, so it's supposed to be working normally. Now, if your icon is like this, and here you have like an arrow with a checklist, that means it's working in demo mode. That means after 2 hours, it will go back to red and it will stop. That means if your icon looks like this, it means your license are not working fine. You can make sure to wait just 2 hours and you'll find that it's not working fine. So you have to activate the right license. And for those Orchestra DAS MBTCP, you need the Orchestra License Management License Manager. And to install, right-click here, install license file, the XML, the .lic, orchestra.lic, that's coming with even mini CD, or we send it by email. Some of them are keyless, some of them need a dongle. You have to make sure that what is your license in this or that. Let's stop. This is all about the licensing. Let me stop. I will deactivate this one now. And let's go back. Now let's start with our first example with InTouch. Now, to read from InTouch, the I/O server, we call it I/O access, or the access name, is the one who's reading from the field. We already configured the I/O server, or Y server, or the AI server. The driver is already configured. Now I need the access name. The access name is the one that will connect through one of the known protocol, DDE or SweetLink or OPC, to the driver. Now, in InTouch, as a system platform, from the access name, I need to put the node. Node, that's mean the name or the IP address of the driver. Where the driver exists, I have to put the name or the IP. The application, this is the name of the server, or actually the name of the driver. Then the topic, that's mean the device group. In our case, we name it topic 1. Then from the tag, I have to configure the item names. Once I create these and I have already those, everything is working fine. The tags are showing. Every tag have its own dot fields. So I can read the value, which is tag name dot value, or the timestamp, or the quality. And the quality, I can find it from the tag viewer. When 0, it's mean not, or anything but 192 is not connected, and I need to see 192. 192, that's mean it's good. 32, that's mean it's uncertain, or there is an item misspelled, not written well. 22, that's mean there is a communication failed with the device. 4, that's mean the item itself is not found. And 0, that no communication at all, bad communication. Here, 0, normally it means there is something wrong between InTouch and the I/O server. Let's do a small demo about it. Let's go back in here to our InTouch. I already prepared a one window with 2 temperature. So temp 1, temp 2, those are 2 temperature. Already gave the tags, and I will look at them. So To connect to the device, what I need? I need to connect actually open to this PLC. So I need to reach the device items. To connect to the PLC, to connect to the OI server, to connect to the communication driver, I need to prepare an access name. This is the first thing. So go for access name. How to reach it is from special access name, access names, and I will add. Now, what is the access name? I will name it whatever I want. PLC sim. What is the node name? Here I have to put the IP address or the computer name of where the communication driver exists. In my case, it is local, so it's 127 here. So I have to put the IP address of this one. So 127.0.0.1. What I'm UI, this IP address is the local address. Application name. Take it a rule. What is the application name? It's supposed to be one of these driver. What the driver name actually? The rule is always choose here oi.mbtcp.1. Choose what is between the two dots. So mbtcp. I want to connect to this one. So mbtcp. If I have a DAS, it's as well what is between the two dots. So I need DAS, and DAS here it's DAS ABTCP, Allen Bradley, or this one is DAS MBTCP. This is the application name. So my application is, let's go for the web. It will be here web SVCV, SVC, web SVC, between the two dots. We'll talk about the web SVC, and we'll do demo in a different session that we are prepared with the telemetry server. But right now we are connecting to Modbus. So let's put the application name mbtcp. So mbtcp, and topic name. Topic name must be an existing topic, something that we already put. It's the device group, so it must be this one or another one. If you have topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, whatever you put here, it's up to you, but you have to use it there. So here you have to use the same one topic. Any misspelling, it will cause non-communication. It will not connect. So topic 1. Which protocol? I'm reading from Y server, so I need SweetLink. SweetLink is a native protocol for Wonderware. So even if I have the option between DDE or OPC, and sometimes I can read from my system to my OI server through OPC. But if we have option between OPC and SweetLink, I recommend to go for SweetLink. Always use the native language. So SweetLink. Here advise only active item. That means we already recommend this if the item or the tag is not active, not needed to be read from, not needed to be historized. Do not scan it. So normally this will reduce a little bit the traffic on your network. Or in case you need it, you can go for active all item. That means scan all the items all the time. In case you need a redundancy from here, you can enable another DDE driver and put the same configuration. Not same, I mean, it's supposed to be a different application or same application, but on different node. Here, if you need another source, but not in my case. And OK, close. Now, once the access name is ready, we have to configure our tags. So I'll go for special, tag name dictionary. Let me go. I already prepared 2 tags. This is the first one, InTouch temp. It's already, it's an real IO. This is the type. It's a real IO. And I put it as an IO to have the access name. So I have to check and put it. This is the access name, PLC sim, the one that I just created. And here I have item. In the item, I can use tag name as item name. This, if I remove it, I can change it. I can put it manually. But this must be the item name that I put it in my table. So it will be easy for me to choose the tag name as the item name and simply check use tag name as item name and save. Let's go for the other one, temperature 2. I will keep it like this and see what will happen if I keep temperature 2 or use tag name as item name and keep it like this. This will not work. So let's save. I have to put the access name at PLC, close, save. Let's close it. Now here are the two items that I want to check. First, temperature 2. Where is my process value is temperature 2. This is the tag name. And temperature 1, where PV is InTouch underscore temp 1. This is the tag name. Let's go and run it. Here, the temperature 1 is working. Temperature 2 is not showing anything. Normally, if there is a bad communication, I have to find a red X. But here it's 0, frozen, cannot see anything. I want to diagnose what's happening with temperature 2. Go for special tag viewer. And here, I will go for temperature 2. 0 to 52. Oh, that's this is strange quality. Anyway, I know what's happening in there. If you didn't understand what's happening from here, you can simply go to your driver, go for diagnostics, device group, topic. And here, both of them are already reading, but I'm still not getting the good value from here. So what should I do? I have to change the item name. The item name was wrong, so let me close it. And yep, temp2 here. Temp2 is continuing with or without it, so it's not related, but anyway. So I will go for tag name dictionary, temperature 2, and what should I do? It's always difficult to change the tag name, so even I have to change the tag name from here, or I have to change it from here. So here I have to change it to put it temperature 2. But if you don't want to change it neither from here or there for maybe a template reason, you can simply remove, let's remove use tag name as item name and put InTouch underscore temp2 manually and save. Let's close. Let me open here. Runtime. And here it is. It's working fine. That's it for InTouch. Let's close everything here. And I'll close InTouch as well. Going for system platform. Now, before communicating with a system platform, let me explain a few basics. So first, what is the system platform and its client? A system platform is based on Microsoft technology and some industrial standards. So it's several servers like application server, historian, and communication server that are reading from outside controllers, software, or data source. And this is the system platform that makes some process for the value, historize the value, having some calculation, etc., to show it to supervisory client, historian client, or insight. What we are focusing here is the communication driver. Where to find our communication driver in our topology? Well, it is actually where I install my servers, simply as this, where I install the drivers. Where I install the driver is actually my communication driver server, or the communication server. Now, sometimes the objects in the application object server, I put them with their communication drivers. So those objects need this driver, so I put them both on the same server. It doesn't harm. It's fine. It's better to read it's better to read locally. If you can put those driver in and make their object to read locally, well, it's fine, and it's even better. However, this topology depends from project to project, application to application, could be bigger or smaller, depends on how big your application is. Now, in our application here, we are talking about the Galaxy. And in what I need that my application objects to communicate to field device. So the field device, the data come from the field device to the driver, and the driver to a specific or special object. We call it device integration object. DDE SweetLink client, or OPC client, or InTouch client, or etc. Any kind of client. This is the object that will read directly from the device, and this object will distribute to the other objects, the application objects. Let's make it in more clear. So application objects, read and write and have a common protocol, which is a message exchange. So message exchange is the object-to-object protocol. So every application object will communicate to the device object through a message exchange, and the device integration object communicate to the driver using even OPC or SweetLink or DDE. And the driver is the one who will communicate to the data point, PLC, etc. Make it more in details. We have the application object to SweetLink client. So SweetLink client is one of the device integration objects that can communicate to a driver through DDE or SweetLink. So it can communicate to IO server, the legacy task that you already talked about. And this driver will communicate to the PLC. Or to an OI server. So even OI server can communicate through by using a SweetLink protocol to a PLC. Another DI object used is the OPC client. An OPC client can communicate as well to OI server. Maybe I need to use OI gateway. Or to a third-party OPC server. This server will use the PLC. In a special object, we call it device-specific DI object. When an application object will communicate to a DI object, and inside DI object, I configure everything related to PLC, not from the driver, because the DI object will create his driver on OI server with the PLC. And we will do an example to make it more clear. But the DI object and the OI server will be on the single node. This is just an instance that will not be. It will automatically generate once I deploy the DI object. Now, as the InTouch, here I forgot to say that the VTQ, that's mean value, timestamp, and quality. Those three will be generated from, well, the value will be generated from the PLC, but actually I read it as it's generated from the communication driver. Why this VTQ is important to understand from where it's generated, especially for the T part, because if I have to historize or I have to synchronize the data related to the timestamp, I have to pay attention to synchronize as well the OI server. Because if I have a historized value, it will be historized with the timestamp of the DI server, not of the application server or the Galaxy. It will be historized based on the timestamp of my OI server or my driver. So we have to not forget to synchronize the OI server as well. Now, even if I'm using DDE or SweetLink or OPC, it will be almost the same. I have to put the node name, application, and the topic. In the OPC, it names node name, server, or server group. Those are the configuration must be done from the DDE SweetLink client or the OPC client. The addressing for the any object is like this, must to be DI object name dot device group name dot the item name. Remember the item name and the device group name. Device group name, we name it in our example topic 1, and item name is what in the list of item names. So it must be DI object name dot device group name dot item name. This is how from the object must to be. I have an option of auto bounding that I will explain later on. And let's now go for system platforms demo. In here, I already prepared a small Galaxy where I have temperature with process value. Let's look at it. I have PV. This is an IO with degrees Celsius, and it's a float. It's read only. This is my template, and I create several instances from it. Now, let me first prepare the list of the item names. So I'll go here, we deactivate. Port, PLC, device item. We already prepared the list, import, so those are temperature1.pv. Those are the item name that I need to use it inside my system. Now, the item name I choose here are the same hierarchical name dot attributes inside my system. Why? Because this is what auto bounding will take. It will take the hierarchical name dot the attributes. The attribute is PV. The hierarchical name is only the tag name temperature 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me go here. I keep the temp for our example. So first, how to assign. I have to prepare. Yes, I forgot to save here. And right click, activate, until reboot. That's it. So first I have to prepare my device integration object. Let's go here. I have DDE SweetLink client, right click. I will make a template from it. I'll put it in my device integration and change the name to my PLC. So right click new, I'll make an instance from it. So I'll name it my PLC 1. Yes, change, it's fine. In the model view, my PLC 1, it's part of systems. In deployment, yes, it's under App Engine. So this red X, it means configuration error. Why configuration error? Because I still didn't put the node name, application name, or the topic name or scan group. So double click to start the configuration. Server node or node name or the IP address. This is where the driver exists. So even put the computer name or the IP address. In my case, I will use the local address. Server name, same application name. Remember that's what between the two dots. So MBTCP. Communication, I will use the SweetLink. Topic, I will add topic 1. Now, once you add a topic, here I have to add the same topic that I generated here. Same topic, or else it will not work. Same one. Careful of the typing mistake. So once you create a topic, you can associate attributes for topic one, specifically for topic ones. You can add, let's say, temperature one dot PV. So this is the attribute. This is how the name is in your system. You have temperature one. And in the temperature one, you have an attribute called PV, process value. And the item reference is, I forgot the name is 3000, so 024, I think. Yeah, but this one, it's already existing in here, the device name. So what should I do? No, it's not 41, it's 46, but it's fine. So even you remove it from here and keep it there, or you remove it from there and keep it here. You don't need to put it in both ways. So let me remove it from here because it's already exists inside my communication. It's already known from my communication driver. So I don't need to put anything here. General, that's it. And let's save. Now it's ready. Right click and deploy. And okay. Now, first, temperature one, how to assign it. Normally, those I/O device, when you open a new application, you cannot find it. It will be something like this. How to open it, go for view, and you'll find I/O device. In the I/O device, if you open it from here, you can assign temperature one, open it here, and this we call it auto bounding. You can as well assign the whole area. So if you assign an area, let's say we assign the plant area in topic one. So where is it? Plant area. Now to assign, you cannot assign it now. We have to undeploy the instance. So if you assign the plant area in topic one, every object exists under plant area will be automatically assigned to topic one. As you see, topic one, temperature one, after assigning to topic one, the exclamation mark have been removed. What is the item address? Once you click on it, you can find I/O device mapping. You can just validate a reference. It's green, that means it's working fine. And this is the reference. How the reference is taking my PLC1, the name of device integration server, dot topic one, the name of the group, device group, dot, because it's auto bounding, it will take the hierarchical name dot attributes, which is the item name. If the hierarchical name dot attributes match the item name here, you should have no issue. So let's right click and deploy, put it on runtime. And I'll check in view in object viewer. So I can find it from PV. Let's see, PV. Oops, I have something bad in here. Add to watch. So it's bad. Why it's bad? Let me check. Okay, I can find the issue. So this is a good example to follow if you have a bad communication. So I can find the bad communication is from the input source here. The input source is where to put the address. It's not my PLC, it's PLC sim. So there is something wrong in here. So let's keep it. First, let's see. It's bad. So first thing I have to look at, does my PLC, is it connected? Let's see. Can go for the PLC device integration server, go for connection status, it's connected. If it's not connected, search for something called reconnect. And by the way, you can reconnect and give this order automatically from a script. We'll not cover it today. However, if it's not connected, it's disconnected, double click, try to reconnect it, okay. If it's still not reconnected, please open the device integration server and check those three values and must to match your communication driver. Once it's connected, still bad. Next, I have to go for my diagnostics. Let's go for diagnostic device group. Topic. InTouch temp2. This is from the InTouch, so it's still stuck in here. Anyway, the temperature 2 doesn't exist. Now you'll find the list of all tags in here. Even it's green, that means your tag is connected to the field. And if you look at the value, it is changing, that means everything's fine. If it's green and the value is frozen or you don't have a value, that means everything's fine, except there is something, maybe a firewall or something in the security that doesn't allow you to read from the field. So look at your security, firewall or antivirus maybe. If it's red, that means your driver is connected to your tag. Now, if it's red, again, go here. If it's red, that means your driver here is already connected to the driver, to the attribute or the tag. It is connected, but your driver is not connected. There is something wrong between the driver and the PLC. Look at the communication and even check the security, or look at the PLC from the part of the PLC. This in case if it's red. If it doesn't exist at all, like in our case, that means your driver here is not connected to the attributes. So there is some issue in your attribute. Temperature1.pv doesn't exist, and this is our issue. So why we have to check the configuration of my temperature, and I'm looking here. Oops, the input source, the address is PLC sim. This is wrong. What should I do? It's already auto bounded, so must to take it automatically, but it's not taking this reference. It's taking another reference. How to fix it? Simply go double click for it. Okay. Just I want to down. Let me just click on here and save and close. I think I found the issue in here. So I go for script. Yes, I have a scripting that is forcing my input source. So let me remove the script. Yes. In case you find the read from this one is different, simply click on revert to auto bounding. Let's do it again and save. Deploy, check. Oops, it's already still like this. Okay, let me repair it again on deploy. We revert again. Deploy, but this time preserve runtime change. I will not preserve the runtime change. Now it's taking it. That's it. Another way to give the addressing is manually. Very boring if you have 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 of object. You can simply put here my PLC. Let's say it's my PLC 1 dot the topic name. Manually give it the address temperature2.pv and save. As you see, it's assigned. So I click and deploy. Let's go to the temperature2. and make sure that the PV is working. Yes, it is. Same for input source. That's it. Now, third way to do it, as I said, or as I show. Sorry, I already closed it. So let's open show in object viewer. Here I show one PV. This is the attribute, and the attribute have a dot field called input source. The input source is just a dot field. It's a string where the address is reserved. So I can, by a script, let me go and open this object. I can generate and create a script to assign by a script my address. So let me add under script something called addressing. Let's make it 1. And in here, we'll have a session about scripting, but I will go fast in here. So I'll go for onscan. So onscan, when I deploy, it will go for onscan, and then on onscan, me, this is a relative reference. That's mean me. This is the object. That means temperature. In this case, 3.pv.input source simply equal to. I can use here area name, whatever names, or I can put start with some fixed variables to take it the device integration or the topic or etc. There is here is dynamic, but it's the least one that we recommend because you already have the easiest way, which is the auto bounding. So let's go continue it in here. My PLC 1 dot topic 1 dot temperature 1. I'm sorry, temperature 3 dot PV. This is assigning an address by a script. So my C 1 dot topic 1 temperature 3 dot PV and save. Yes, this is the problem of the script. It will always keep the warning part. The warning, error warning, we have to assign it to a PLC. Even if we are doing it, I'm sure it's already assigned by a script, but the warning will stay there. So let's deploy it. Okay, this is temperature 3. We can open in object viewer. Go for PV, there it is. Put source. Yep, it's working fine. So those are the 3 ways to assign the address and to connect to the PLC. Now we can make sure from here, go for diagnostics, and there it is. 1, 2, and 3, they are already green. Again, green, that means the attribute is already connected to the PLC. The value is changing, the value is showing, that means everything's fine. If it doesn't exist, that means the driver is not connected to the attribute. So check even the list, one of the configuration, the auto bounding, the addressing, something is wrong in here. If it's red, that means something wrong for not connecting to the PLC. The driver is not connecting to the PLC, so you have to check the PLC, the network, the security, or even look at the configuration of the PLC itself. Once maybe just checking this part or unchecking this part will have a bad communication to the PLC. Now, before we finish, let's give a small example, or let's configure an object view, a DI object driver. I already did import, how to have it. Same from the connectivity hub, you downloaded the DI object, it's a package. Then once you are here, how to install it, you don't install it, you import the object. So I already have an object that I put it under communication driver, which is the DI object of Modbus. That's it. And open. I already have it, so I don't need to import it again. It's under device integration. So how to prepare it? The same thing we did in the SMC, the System Platform Management Console, but we will do it by object. So first, regarding this Modbus, as well, read the manual, the user guide, and you'll find how to do it. But I'll give you a hint in here, the Modbus. In our SMC, let me open the SMC, we have to configure the port. No, to configure the port, then the PLC. And once you have the port, you can add one of these options, Momentum, Premium, or Modbus PLC. I need a Modbus PLC in our case, so I will go first. It's a Modbus Ethernet. This is my port, so new. I prefer to make always a new derived template, but let's make it fast. So I'll name it port 1. This is port 1. If you open it, you see this is the port only. So that's it. And I need, between all of these, I need just a PLC, Ethernet PLC. So instance, as you see, it's red cross, that means configuration error, and I have to put it inside my port 1. And I will name it PLC2, for example. And open. Remember the same configuration we did there? We have to put it here. So I have first to put the network address. Where is my PLC? It's 127.0.0.1. The configuration of my PLC must to be reflected here. Then the scan group, I will add topic 1. In case you need to understand more about this object and you want to go deeper, just right click on the object or any object in the system platform and go for object help. You have the good help for it. What is the alarms, what is scan groups, etc. Yeah, in every device integration you have active on demand and active inactive all. Same what we did in InTouch, it's already exists here. So active on demand, that means if and this is what we recommend to reduce the traffic. If I'm reading, I'm not reading from this attribute, I don't need it. It's not active at all. Don't scan it and reduce the scan cycle and reduce the traffic. So update interval 250. I think 250 is too fast in milliseconds. I need it to every 1000. And here it's same list. I will add the same list. Desktop, PLC for system platform. Same list, I can put it here. The same list, I did it there, I can put it here. Now I have temperature 5. I will assign temperature 5 to this one. So save. Okay. It's already here. Let me right click and deploy. Close. Just open, and I need, yes, topic 1. Yes, you can change the topic 1, topic 2. This is a new, it's totally, let's make another topic because it's totally different driver here. Scan group, let me add it to make it topic 2. Save, okay. And right click, deploy. And same way, I can use even auto bounding, scripting, or manually. I will use the auto bounding for which one here is 5. So I'm adding 5 to topic 2. Let's just validate. It's green. Deploy. Right click, view in object viewer. Let's go for PV in here. This is 5 in the input source to make sure about the addressing. That's it. This is how we configure the DI object driver. DAS, regarding the DAS, you can look at it. It's similar as the OI server. Same way we configure the OI server, we configure the IO legacy server. So let's set, and that will be all about. This is the basics about communication driver, how to configure, where to install, and how to connect InTouch through a communication driver to a PLC, and system platform to a PLC. We talked about the device integration objects. We talked about the difference between the IO server and OI server, and the main difference is in the licensing. We talked about the licensing as well. So we have standards and the professional and premier. And we made some basic troubleshooting, in case your tag or attributes is not connecting, how to track or how to follow, how to track the issue. And that will be all for this session. And thank you so much. In case you need any question, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you so much and have a nice day.